Hi, okay, so I'm going to be showing how I've made this sort of like a drop um, for a dubstep song. I guess this is like rhythm dubstep. Don't really know how to describe it, but kind of made this quite a while ago, obviously. But now that Skrillex is finally releasing his Red Lips remix, probably a good idea to make a video about this. So the bass is not really the same as Red Lips. It was not really inspired by it, but it's quite similar in the sense it's that sort of style of metallic rhythm dubstep, which you hear a lot in also in, like Mantis or some other like deathstep artist. Guess maybe Gesser or something like that. But so it's all made in FM8 for the main sort of sections. And there's quite a bit of post processing after FM8. So the way I've laid it out, so these channels, these 4 channels, you can ignore them. So I've laid out as the main, I've grouped the main bass together, and that is being, I think each of the basses is high passed, yeah, high passed here, and it's being sent to this group, which is the, this is the side chain for the snare. I've got a filler or starter bass, so the main sort of like first initial growl, like that, and filler basses like this one. This is made from my sort of cello wolf note bass, which I made a while ago, and then I've processed it a few times to instead of making it into a Nero bass. It's this sort of gliding, monstery sort of growl sound. And the purpose behind that is that the main bass is all being high passed, and it has its sub is here, it's located here, and that is just simply made in massive. This is probably unnecessary max space, but you don't really need it for subs. I don't really know why I have it. This filter's not really doing anything. Filter's just there to check on the frequencies. Simple sub, a bit of classic tube as to make it a bit warm, and that is being sidechained by the kick. Yeah, so I've have the main bass high passed, and the filler and the starter bass is all has it. They have their own subs, so that's why I've divided it in this sort of way. So the main initial sound which you'd hear, which is we're going to go through, is this. So it sounds quite strange with the sub, without the sub actually. Okay, so there's quite a lot of things happening, but in FM8, but this is what it looks like. And so I'm just gonna play it one time so you can see what's being modulated. Oh shit, sorry. Yeah, just play it like that. So all this is being controlled by a macro in an instrument rack here. So these are the mappings I have. And the macro is being modulated by an LFO here, which this is from Axe for Live. Really handy, neat plugin. I use it a lot for this sort of thing. But yeah, so that's being automated. The rate of the LFO is being automated here. Yeah. How do I do it? So if I turn this all the way up, so you can see the parameters. So the first waveform here is just a sine wave, which is being modulated by. Okay, so actually, first of all, before I start this, I don't know anything about FM synthesis. I just know how to use it and kind of know where to go when I'm making a sound. The great thing I find about FM8 is that you can sort of sculpt your way and slowly plod along towards the sound you want, while it's still being really detailed, touchy, and very clean sort of sound. Very open to post-processing. So this is modulated by. Okay, so yeah, let's start all over again. Oscillator F. It's just a wave, sine wave, which is being modulated by oscillator E by level 55, and that's just a sine wave ratio. So this oscillator D is modulating oscillator E, and oscillator F ratio of 7. Just copy these down. C is being modulated by oscillator D, yeah? And that doesn't modulate anything else, and C then modulates oscillator B. So both of these have ratio of 5, and B is modulating oscillator F. A ratio of 1, modulating F, and then F is fed back into A. Parameters. Yeah. So if I turn it down, you'll be able to see what I'm modulating. So I'm modulating these A, B, C into B, and D and E. Yeah. And that's pretty much it for that. Okay, so after that, I have a flanger, which I can't remember if I've changed any settings on it actually. The purpose for this is just to give it. It already has that metallic effect. Yeah, so it's just changed a bit, not much. From default. So it gives that sort of metallic effect. Well, accentuates it because it should already have some of that metallic effect. So this is without. Yeah, there we go. Got a chorus. Sort of just give it that sort of smoother characteristic. Got Camel Crusher as the distortion, the main distortion thing happening here. Pretty simple. These are the settings. Again, if you don't have Camel Crusher, it's free. You can download it from Splice. So characteristics don't really change that much. It just gets more aggressive, and the main thing is that it gets louder. But you can just do that any other way. Overdrive. Now that's probably the main distortion happening here. So it's quite heavy drive there. This is probably one of the most important parts of the sound, is the auto pan. So auto pan, I'll show you how to get there. So when you've just turned your amount up, it just becomes a panning sort of plugin like that. So if you turn your phase all the way down, it's just a plugin that automates the volume of the signal like that. So switch on your sync here, so from just frequencies to sync. And the offset is at 180 degrees. And that's pretty much it. So that gives it sort of the more tighter sort of rhythmic effects, which you hear more in these sort of basses. It's more aggressive without it actually, which is pretty cool. But that's not exactly what we're going for here. And glue compressor just to sort of tighten it all up and replace what is lost. Yes, in order pan, so it's without. So it's a bit too clean for my liking, and also it just makes it a bit louder, but that's not the important thing here. All being high passed, and yeah. And what I've done with the other basses is just basically duplicated this and then just messed around some of the parameters in FM8 to sort of suit the characteristic which I wanted. So the weird sort of thing about this, there's two choruses actually, which is kind of strange. But the reason why like the movement is so strange and really interesting, like that initial sound, is because the rate of the LFO here, which is modulating all the FM from the oscillators in FM8, it's different. It's play crotchets or quarter notes, and it's different to the auto pan effect, you know. Like it changes here quite a lot, not at the same time, and it doesn't have the same rate. So you can play around with that to get a sort of more interesting movement. That's pretty much it. The main tip which I have with this kind of dubstep, which is similar to stuff like Red Lips, is that it helps to be really organized like this. I was really pretty careful with what I wanted to do, and it's a really simple idea. There's not a lot of development. I don't know where to go with this. I've left this project alone for quite a while now, but the point of it is to sound really clean and organized while still having that aggressive tone. So I hope this can take you somewhere with this sort of style of dubstep, and hope you enjoy.